My fiancé said, "If you really love me, you'll put my parents' names on the house." I smiled and said, "Of course." The next morning, I sent her a copy of the lease, in their names, not hers, and moved out that same day. Her parents' reaction, when they realized what I'd done, was priceless. I'm 31, and until 3 weeks ago, I thought I was about to marry the love of my life. Her name was Jessica. We'd been together for 4 years, engaged for 8 months. The wedding was set for June. I had the ring, the venue was booked, and I genuinely believed we were building something real. But then came the house conversation. I'd been saving for years to buy a place. Nothing fancy, just a decent 3-bedroom in a quiet neighborhood about 20 minutes from downtown. Jessica knew about it. We'd talked about it constantly since year 2 of our relationship. She'd even picked out paint colors for the living room, some shade of gray she saw on Pinterest. She had a whole board dedicated to our future home. When I finally got pre-approved for the mortgage 2 months ago, she cried happy tears. We celebrated with champagne. She posted about it on Instagram with the caption, "One step closer to forever." Or at least, I thought they were happy tears. The first red flag should have been how quickly her parents inserted themselves into the process. Linda started sending me listings daily. Robert asked detailed questions about my down payment, my interest rate, my loan term. At the time, I thought they were just being helpful. Involved future in-laws, right? I was an idiot. Last month, we were sitting on my apartment couch after dinner when she brought it up. Casual, almost too casual. We'd just finished watching some home renovation show she loved. "Babe," she said, scrolling through her phone, "I was thinking, when you buy the house, maybe we should put my parents' names on it too." I looked up from my laptop. I was working on a budget spreadsheet, calculating furniture costs. "What do you mean?" "You know, like co-owners or something, for security." I laughed. I actually laughed because I thought she was joking. "Security for who?" She didn't laugh back. Her face was serious. "For me. For us. My parents have been so supportive, and it would make them feel involved. Plus, if anything happens to you, I'd be protected." "Jessica, you'll be my wife. You'd inherit it anyway. That's how marriage works." "I know, but..." She bit her lip, that thing she did when she was nervous. "It's just smarter this way." My mom suggested it. She said it's what smart couples do, and there it was. Her mother, Linda, the woman who'd spent 4 years treating me like I was auditioning for the role of son-in-law and failing every rehearsal. Linda had opinions about everything. My car wasn't reliable enough. My previous job wasn't prestigious enough. The way I dressed was too casual. The restaurants I picked weren't upscale enough. Jessica always defended her. "She just cares," she'd say. "She wants the best for us." "Why would your parents need to be on the deed?" I asked slowly, closing my laptop. "It's not about need. It's about trust. If you really love me, you'd do this. It's just paperwork. Just signatures. It doesn't change anything between us. Just paperwork." I remember staring at her, trying to figure out if she understood what she was asking. Putting someone's name on a house deed means they own it. Legally. They could sell it, refinance it, take out loans against it, kick me out if they wanted. And she wanted me to do that for her parents. People who weren't paying a single dollar toward it. People who already owned their own home outright. "I need to think about it," I said. She didn't like that. Her face changed. Cold. Distant. "Think about it? Jake, we're getting married in 6 months. What's yours is mine, right? Or is that only when it's convenient for you? That's not fair. What's not fair is you acting like my family is trying to take advantage of you. They've been nothing but welcoming. Welcoming. Linda once told me my cologne smelled cheap. At Thanksgiving, Robert suggested I should consider a real career path because my job wasn't impressive enough. But sure, welcoming. We argued for an hour. She cried. She said I didn't trust her family. She said I was being paranoid. She said every couple does this. that it's normal, that I was making a big deal out of nothing. She even said her friend Amber's husband did the same thing. Finally, exhausted, wanting the fight to end, I said, "Fine, I'll do it." She smiled, kissed me, thanked me, told me I was making the right choice. Went to bed happy. I didn't sleep that night. I lay there staring at the ceiling, my mind racing. Something felt wrong. Really wrong. Why would she push this so hard? Why did Linda suggest it in the first place? What did they gain from having their names on my property? The next morning, after Jessica left for work, I called my real estate attorney. His name's Martin, and he's helped me with contracts before when I freelanced. I explained the situation. Everything. The demand, the pressure, the way Jessica framed it as a test of love. "Jake," he said carefully, "if you put their names on the deed and things go south, you could lose everything. You're the one paying the mortgage. You're the one who saved for the down payment. They'd have legal claim to the property without contributing anything. If you break up, they could force a sale. They could refuse to sign off on refinancing. You'd be stuck." "I know." "Then why? Can you draft a lease agreement instead?" Silence. "Then, a lease agreement?" "Yeah, with their names on it. Make it look official. Long-term lease, $1 a year, whatever. I want it to look legitimate, professional, like something that came from a real estate office." He paused. I could hear him thinking. "You're setting something up. I'm protecting myself. And I'm calling her bluff. If this is really about trust and family involvement like she says, a lease should be fine. Their names are on the document. They're connected to the property. But if it's about control and ownership, well, then I'll know." He did it. Took him 3 hours. The document looked perfect. Official letterhead, legal language, clause after clause of tenant rights and responsibilities. It stated that Linda and Robert Harrison were leasing the property at 428 Maple Street for a term of 30 years at the rate of $1 per year. Tenant responsibilities included all maintenance, utilities, property taxes, and insurance. There was even a clause about subletting restrictions. It looked more official than most apartment leases I'd signed. I printed 2 copies on heavy stock paper. I put them in a professional folder. That evening, Jessica came over. She was in a great mood. She'd been texting her mom all day, probably bragging about how she'd gotten me to agree. She brought takeout, Thai food from my favorite place. She was being extra affectionate, talking about the wedding, about honeymoon destinations, about baby names. It felt performative now, like she'd won something. "So," she said, settling onto the couch with her pad thai, "did you talk to your lawyer?" "I did," I said. I handed her the folder. "Here. Your parents' names are on it, just like you asked." She didn't read it. She just opened the folder, saw their names at the top, Linda Marie Harrison and Robert James Harrison, and smiled. "See? That wasn't so hard. I knew you'd come around. I told my mom you just needed time to think about it." "Nope, not hard at all. She kissed me, said she loved me, said she was proud of me for doing the right thing, and left an hour later to have dinner with her parents. She said they wanted to celebrate. She took 1 copy with her, tucked it in her purse like a trophy. I waited until midnight. Then I started packing. Update 1. I moved out while she was asleep at her own place. She still had her apartment. We weren't living together yet, which now seemed like divine intervention. I'd already lined up a short-term rental across town through a friend of a friend. Small studio, month-to-month lease, but it was clean and quiet. I took my clothes, my laptop, my dog Max, my books, and the ring I'd bought her. The ring had cost me 4 months' salary. 2 carats, white gold, exactly what she'd hinted at for a year. I left the furniture. I left the kitchen stuff she'd bought. The fancy blender, the stand mixer, the expensive knife set. I left a note on the counter that said, "Check the document you signed. You'll understand." At 9 a.m., I sent her a text. "We're done. Don't contact me. Then I blocked her number. I didn't block her parents, though. That was intentional. I wanted to see how long it would take. At 9:47 a.m., Linda called me. I let it ring. She left a voicemail. Her voice was shrill, furious, higher pitched than I'd ever heard it. Jake, what the hell is this? You can't just put our names on a lease and dump my daughter. This is illegal. This is fraud. This is entrapment or something. Call me back right now or I'm calling my lawyer. You're going to regret this. I saved the voicemail, backed it up to 3 different places. At 10:15 a.m., Robert called. He was calmer but clearly confused, more disappointed than angry. Jake, I don't understand what's happening. Jessica is hysterical. Linda's talking about lawyers. Can we talk? Man to man? I think there's been a misunderstanding, I answered. Sure, Robert. What's up? This lease document. Linda's saying you tricked us, that we're responsible for some house now, that you made us liable for property taxes. You're not responsible for anything. It's just a lease. You're tenants. $1 a year. You don't even have to move in. It's symbolic, just like Jessica wanted. But why would you do this? Why not just put our names on the deed like Jessica asked? Because your daughter demanded I put your names on my house, so I did. Just not the way she expected. She wanted you on the paperwork? You're on the paperwork. She said it was just about involvement and trust, right? Well, a lease involves you. You're invested. You're part of it. Silence. Long, heavy silence. Jake, she didn't mean... She meant exactly what she said, Robert. She wanted your names on my property. Now they are. Congratulations. You're legally tenants of a house that doesn't exist yet because I'm not buying it anymore. I'm not marrying someone who sees me as a financial asset to be divided up before we even say our vows. I hung up. By noon, Jessica had created a new number and was texting me. Paragraphs. Dozens of them. Saying I humiliated her. Saying I was cruel and calculated. Saying she never actually wanted her parents on the deed. She just wanted to feel secure. Saying I violated her trust. Saying everyone was calling her asking what happened. Saying her bridesmaids were confused. Saying the vendors were asking questions. I replied once, "You got what you asked for." Then I blocked that number too. Update 2. The fallout was nuclear. Jessica's friends started messaging me on social media, calling me manipulative, saying I'd weaponized paperwork. One of them, her maid of honor Sarah, called me a sociopath. Another said I was financially abusive for playing mind games. I didn't respond to any of them, but I did post a single Facebook status 3 days after I left. PSA: if someone asks you to put their family members on your property deed before you're even married, maybe ask why. I didn't name anyone, didn't tag anyone, didn't mention Jessica or her parents, didn't have to. Within hours, people were commenting. Mutual friends. Some supported me, saying they'd do the same thing. Some said I was petty and could have just said no. A few of Jessica's college friends admitted she'd always been financially strategic. One girl named Monica commented, "I love Jess, but she literally has a spreadsheet of boyfriend income potential." She showed it to me sophomore year. That phrase stuck with me, financially strategic, like I was a stock portfolio. Her cousin DM'd me the next day. Emily. We'd always gotten along at family gatherings. She said, "Dude, I love Jess, but her mom's been coaching her on this for months. She told me at your engagement party that you were investment material and that Jess needed to secure her future." I thought it was a joke, a weird joke, but she was serious. Linda's been planning this. It wasn't a joke. I started piecing it together. The way Jessica always insisted on separate finances even after we got engaged. The way she'd never contributed to my savings even though we talked about our future home. The way Linda always asked about my salary, my benefits, my 401k, my 5-year plan. The way Robert would bring up life insurance at random dinners. They weren't planning a marriage. They were planning an acquisition. Update 3. 2 weeks after I left, Martin called me, my attorney. "Jake, you're not going to believe this. Try me. Linda Harrison hired a lawyer. They're threatening to sue you for fraud, intentional infliction of emotional distress, and breach of promise." I laughed, actually laughed out loud. Max looked up from his dog bed, confused. "On what grounds?" "They're claiming you misrepresented the lease as a property deed and that they signed under false pretenses. They're also saying you caused Jessica severe emotional harm and damaged her reputation." "Martin, Jessica took the document. She didn't even read it. She saw her parents' names and assumed, and nobody signed anything. It was a draft. There are no signatures, no notarization, no filing. It's literally just a piece of paper." That's what I told them. Their lawyer dropped the fraud claim after I sent over the email chain showing you never finalized a property purchase, but they're still pushing the emotional distress angle. Let them push. But here's the kicker. Linda's lawyer also sent a cease and desist letter demanding I stop slandering Jessica online and remove my Facebook post. They claimed my post was defamatory and caused her professional harm. I didn't slander anyone. I posted one vague status. But apparently, Jessica's reputation took a hit. Friends were asking questions. Her office found out, someone saw the Facebook drama, screenshotted everything, and it spread. Jessica worked in real estate, ironically. Her clients started asking if she was the girl from that Facebook post. It got messy for her professionally. I didn't feel bad. Martin sent a response letter explaining that my post was protected speech and didn't name anyone. He also pointed out that truth is an absolute defense to defamation. If Jessica asked me to put her parents on my house, and I said no and ended the relationship, that's not slander. That's just what happened. They dropped it. Final update. It's been 3 weeks now. The wedding was officially called off. Jessica's parents lost their venue deposit, $8,000, because it was non-refundable. Jessica had to call 150 guests and explain that the wedding wasn't happening. She posted a vague Instagram story about choosing myself and walking away from toxicity. The comments were divided, half supportive, half suspicious. Jessica moved back in with Linda and Robert. I heard through a mutual friend that she's taking time to heal and seeing a therapist. Good. Maybe the therapist will explain boundaries to her. I'm doing fine. Better than fine, actually. I'm still saving for a house, but now I'm being smarter about it. I'm vetting my next relationship a lot more carefully. Red flags I ignored before? Not anymore. If someone's parent is overly involved in financial decisions, I'm out. If someone pressures me to prove my love with legal documents, I'm out. If someone sees me as an investment instead of a partner, I'm out. Someone asked me last week if I regret how I handled it. Honestly? Number. Not even a little. Jessica didn't love me. She loved what I could provide. Security, stability. A house with her parents' names on it for some reason I still don't fully understand. Maybe Linda wanted a backup plan if her own house had issues. Maybe they were planning to claim it in a divorce. I'll never know. The lease agreement was petty. I know that. But it made a point. You can't manipulate someone into giving you legal ownership of their future and expect them to just smile and take it. You can't treat love like a business negotiation. Linda hasn't contacted me since Martin shut down her lawyer. Robert sent me one last text 2 days ago. "You're a bastard, but you're not wrong." I didn't know what Linda was planning. I'm sorry. I didn't reply. What would I even say? As for Jessica? Last I heard, she's on dating apps again. Her bio says she's looking for someone mature and financially stable. Her photos are all from our relationship, places we traveled, restaurants we went to. She cropped me out. Good luck with that. Edit. No, I'm not giving back the engagement ring. I paid for it. It's mine. I'm selling it and putting the money toward the house fund. Already got it appraised. Should get about 70% of what I paid. Edit 2. For everyone asking if the lease was real, it was a real document, professionally drafted. but nobody signed it. It was a draft. The point was to show Jessica what she was actually asking for. If you demand someone put your parents on their property, you're not asking for love. You're asking for leverage. And I don't negotiate with people who see me as leverage.